We'll get started at 10. The topics are in the chat. We're talking about manifesting and aligning to the reality that you're designing for yourself. So you could pick one of those topics and I'll read from my 31-day intention cards. We always start with today's date, which is the 20th. You can read that right there. Okay. This is from the General Mindset deck. And you can also see the title at the top. If you're manifesting something, you're creating a new reality for yourself. If you're not making plans in alignment to that manifestation, then you won't get the results that you think you're going to get or the results that you want to get. When you assume that I can get out of debt, whatever your assumption is, whatever it is, what plans today have you made to make sure that is happening? We say it's our year. It's 2026. Oh, this is my year. This is my year. Okay, it's the 20th. What is that looking like for you? What people will do is January 1st will come and they say, okay, this is my year, 2026. This is my year to do this. This is my year to do that. And then I ask them in our sessions, this January 20th, what is that looking like for you? Are you waiting for the summertime for it to happen? You're waiting for spring break for it to happen? We set all these goals down the line, but we don't assume that manifestation today. So what that looks like is today I'm behaving like a person that lost 80 pounds. Today I'm behaving and I'm being a person that's in that design relationship that I want for myself. Today I am whatever it is that you have decided that this is what's going to happen for me in 2020. Okay. I just released some music, right? 6 months ago, I said, I'm going to release this song called Heal. I'm going to release this song called My Never Would. And I've done that. I set an intention and I said, this is what it's going to look like. These are the people that are going to be involved. And I make it happen. And what does that ultimately do? It makes me a happier person. I feel good. I feel happy. So if you're not happy, if you're not fulfilled, if you're not satisfied, if you're not content in your life, something needs to shift and something needs to change. Well, Dorian, how do I do that? What do you want? What are you looking for? What is your thing? If I told you to write it down right now or write it in the comments, this is what I want to see changed in this year, in 2026. Okay, then you write that out, you say that, and you assume that it is right now. Instead of saying, like this one lady said, by the summertime I want to do this, or I just pray that I can lose weight. That's not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything. You're going to be in the same place in 2027. So this is what we're doing. We're reading from the intention cards. You can get them in booklet form. It's entrepreneurship, abundance. And let's just take this right now. I have nothing to lose by being persistent other than the very thing I truly desire. And that's what people will do. You start off hot and strong in January. You're on it. Okay. I'm in the gym or I'm eating right. I'm looking at the recipes. I'm doing all these things because you have something that you are looking to happen later on down the line versus already being out of debt. I'm already out of debt. And this is what keeps people from walking in their true manifestation because you put it off for later, by this time next year, by the summertime. Now, there are certain things that can't unfold. Like if you say, I'm in my design custom home. It's going to take 3 to 4 months to build a home. We get that. We get that. But that does not mean that you can't assume being a homeowner today. Let's say yours is not a custom home. And if you want, we can walk through what this looks like. You just have to type something in a comment. I'm working on this. I have this sickness in my body. Let's take that, for example. If somebody is sick, let's go to the optimal health cards or booklets. You can get them in card or booklet form. Let's just take today's date. This is what I mean by making plans and actions that are aligned with what you're saying. I'm wealthy, I'm healthy. Okay, what are you doing? Here's an example. I refrain from negativity in every area of my life. Conversations, TV, social media, relationships, or with family and friends. This practice is vital to my optimal health. So if in 2026, with family and friends, This practice is vital to my optimal health. I'm tired of taking this medicine. I'm tired of spending all my abundance that I'm manifesting for myself on medicine. Here's what you do. This is day 20. It doesn't matter what days. You can pick any number you want. Okay, this is one thing that I'm going to have to do for myself is refrain from negativity in every area of my life, because being negative, watching negativity, it don't matter what area it is, that can make you sick. So if there's conversations, if people are talking about, girl, I just can't get rid of this pain. And then here you go, me too. You just manifested an agreement of being sick and being in pain. If people are talking on television, even if I'm watching TV, which is rare, and there's a commercial coming on, I'll mute it because I don't want to hear about restless leg syndrome. I don't want to hear about, do you have diabetes? Do you have this? Do you have that? If I'm working on healing my body, then I have to refrain from conversations, TV, social media, things, family, even friends that are always talking about their ailment. They're talking about their sickness. They're talking about their disease, right? For example, if you are working on finances, let's look at one when it comes to manifesting and designing a new life for yourself surrounding money. We'll go to the abundance one. If you're just joining, I have pinned the topics in the comments, and you can say, hey, Dorian, can you read one of your intentions? Because that's what this is. These are not like fancy words just for you to be just saying, because that's what people do. I'm wealthy, I'm healthy, but there's no action steps with it. Okay, look, here it is. I am wealthy. Okay, that's great. That sounds great to say. But here's what you have to think and assume. Part of that means large sums of money is now the norm for me. Credits, refunds, gifts, they do not surprise me. I just remain grateful. Let me tell you this hack when it comes to money and receiving money. If you're not used to having large sums of money, if you're not used to getting money, when you get it and you act surprised, it sends off this vibration and it sends off this frequency that I don't deserve it. When I go places, people may know who I am, they may not know who I am, whatever. But when I go in there, I get complimentary things all the time. At first, I used to get surprised, like, oh my God, I got this for free. Oh, I got this. But now I assume that everywhere I go, I get favor. Not because I don't want to pay for it. I have the money to pay for it. But that's part of being wealthy, because celebrities, a lot of them, the bags and the things that they wear, they didn't even pay for it. People give it to them so that they can advertise for them, right? What is the first thing you would do? How would you feel? I'm comfortable with it because it happens naturally, but I used to have a lack mentality. I used to have a poverty mindset, right? And I would get shocked. I would be surprised until I started to embrace it and make it a normal thing for me. It's normal for me to get credits. It's normal for people just to send me money. It's normal for me to receive large sums of money. And some of you have to sit with that. This may be foreign to you, but this is the way I got out of debt and I was able to live an abundant lifestyle. You know what I mean? Especially being a single mother, being married to a pastor, divorcing, and having 2 small kids. I lived that single life of poverty and lack and not enough. And then I got tired of it. Okay? And now I sit in this, and this is the normal for me. So if you're just joining, if there's something that you would like for me to read, something that you want to work on, a thought that you want to take with you before we leave, I pinned them in the comments. I'll put them in there again if you want. And what it is you take 31 days. If it's eating habits, that was a big one for me too. If it's, I want to manifest a relationship, a divine union. I'm a parent and my kids are out of control. I have anxious thoughts, Dorian. My mind is just all over the place. I can't do it. Okay. If you want to know how to speak over your kids, if you want to heal and thrive after coming out of religious trauma, I have something for you there. If you're getting older and you're afraid of getting older because of the things that people speak and say, that's what these are for. They are 31 day cards, and you can get them in booklet form because I take them with me, especially with eating habits, me losing I lost a lot of pounds. Let's just say that I lost a lot of pounds, but I had to change my mindset. It's not in the gym. It's not in the personal trainer. It's not in the Rise coffee. It's not in all of those things primarily. It's here first. Once you shift the mindset first, then the outer world will shift. So the link is in the bio for the cards, for the booklets, and to join the Skool community where we stay on live longer. We do one-on-ones, we talk, and it's more private, it's more intimate because you don't want to put all your business out here sometimes. But before we go, if there is a card that you want me to read, all you have to do is type in the comments one of those topics. It could be eating habits, it could be finances, it could be entrepreneurship. I didn't mention that one. If you are an entrepreneur or you want to be an entrepreneur, I used to be on a 9-to-5 job like most people, and that wasn't for me. So I manifested myself into full-time entrepreneurship by changing my mindset. While I was clocking in, I was clocked in here somewhere else. I was seeing myself speaking and behaving and assuming. If you're just joining, when you say I'm manifesting this, I'm manifesting that, the first thing is to assume that it's already done, to assume it. And I'm going to give you an example of me assuming something was already done, right? And I've been doing this all my life. I'm just going to give you one example. You assume, but then you have to make plans. If you don't make any plans, if your plans every single day don't line up with that assumption, you're just talking. I want to lose weight. Do you really? I want to be out of debt. Do you really? I want to be in love. I want to be in a relationship. Do you really? Really? Because the first thing is to assume, okay, my person exists. Don't get me started on that, because I also have 31 days on manifesting the divine partner that's designed for you. I manifested my partner. He manifested me. And we didn't even stop there. After we came together, I created him to her, her to him. So now we know how to deal with each other every single day. There's 31 cards because we still want to keep manifesting the best version of ourselves. So yeah, we manifest each other. Okay, boom, we're in a love union. And I can read a card from there if you want. But he still has developing. I still have developing to do. So we know how to speak over each other. There are our own private cards that we say to, ourselves, but we act that out. But anyway, here's an example of what I mean by assuming that something is done. So about 6 months ago, this is not the first thing. So this is my new song that I just released, right? It's called Heal. 6 months ago, I said, okay, this was nothing. 6 months ago, this was not in the real physical world. It was not there. It was only here. This is powerful. Share the live, like the live. Thank you. This was all here. What I was wearing was here. The song was all here, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to release this song and I'm going to release this music video. Do you know, once I assumed it, things in the outer world tried to show me something different. My music producer, I sent him the song, I sent him a song, I wrote it, all the things. I said, add some stuff to it, put some bells and whistles to it, right? He's like, okay, cool. His computer breaks down. I don't care, because I assumed that by this certain time of 2025, that this song is going to be done, right? I just released it the other day, but it was finished back in September, October, because I released another song first, My Never Would, right? Same process. Then my photographer, I book him. He's done all of my albums. Once you go to Even, you'll see all of my projects. All of them are there, right? He tells me, okay, see, these are all the projects that I've done, all my music, right? I did this in 2019. I've been working with him, right? And so he's like, okay, let's do this. He tells me his computer breaks. And all the footage that we did for the photo shoot is trapped in that computer that he can't get access to. I don't care, because I assume that my manifestation is what it's going to be. So that following week, he's like, I'm going to get a new computer. I'm going to transfer all the things. Great. My stylist, I told her what I was looking for. I want bohemian. And that was the first one. This is the one that she worked. We did both of these at the same time. I said, I want a bohemian look, neo soul. The last week, right before the photo shoot and the video shoot, she's like, I can't find this one outfit that you want. I said, you'll find it. And then she found it. It was paisley. I don't like paisley. We're like 5 days away from the photo shoot and the video shoot. I don't like paisley. But I said, you know what? I'm going to trust you on this one. And it turned out great. Go watch the music video. It's called My Never Would. It's on YouTube, Vivo, Spotify, all the things, right? But this is what I mean by assuming. When you assume a manifestation, you have to make plans. So I was still planning for a release. I don't care what seemingly was against what I was manifesting. I'm still making plans for my songs to be released. And they were. They were released when I wanted them to be released, how I wanted them to be released. But I had to set that intention, assume that it was already done, and that wasn't it. When it was time to shoot the music video, my videographer says, I can't make that date. He had been rocking with me for the longest, right? And then the week of the music video, he says he can't be there on that Sunday. I said, okay, cool. And I told the team, guess what? We're shooting a music video on Sunday, 2, matter of fact, because I did 2 music videos on the same day for both of these songs. This one is already out, and this one I'm about to release. I don't care if we have to use somebody's iPhone. I said I want my songs done in a certain time, a certain way, and it's going to get done. And this is what we're talking about if you're just joining. You will set up intention for January 20th. This is my year. This is my year. This is what's going to happen. And as soon as things come against you, you quit and you give up. I don't operate like that. That's why I'm a manifesting specialist. It doesn't matter what the outer world is saying. And then guess what? After that, we found another videographer. Of course, he refers somebody and boom. The photographer says to me, I can't make the date. And I said, Thomas, I will see you on Sunday, whatever day that was, September 27th last year. I will see you on Sunday. He's like, I don't know. I can't make that date. Something just happened. Something came up right. And so I just began to speak over whatever circumstance he was dealing with, and that everybody was going to get what they needed to get done or whatever clients he had to work with. But he has did this photo. He did my book cover, which is right. See if I can point my book cover. He did my album cover, and I wanted him. I just wanted to work with him, right? And so I set my intention, and all that whole week he kept saying, I don't know, it's just not looking good. So I kept him on the threads. I kept him on the communication threads. I kept him on the email, and I kept sending him locations and sending him the vision board, the storyboard, because he was going to be there, right? And everybody else that needed what they needed on the other end would get what they needed too. It wasn't about, I don't care what you have to do over there. I don't care about who's sick. I don't care about what their projects are. No, I said they're going to get what they need even better. It's all going to work out. It doesn't matter. So the point of what we're talking about today is when you set out to manifest something for yourself and things seemingly come against that, you ignore it. I have a card in here. I believe it's in my general mindset. It may be for today that I ignore anything that comes against. There it is. I'm gonna read it for you. Found it just like that. It's in the general mindset. It's not day 20, but that's okay. It's day 19. I only react to manifestations in my life that produce joy and peace. Anything else gets ignored. I got these cards memorized. I know where they are in all of my decks. So if you're joining, we're about to wrap up. We're talking about, I want to manifest. I want to change something. There's something in my life I don't like. It doesn't matter what area it is. I cover all of the areas in life. But when something comes against you that doesn't look like what you just said, because there's 2 programs running in your mind. That's normal. It's normal for you to say, I live a debt-free life. And then somebody calls, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me. The old programming is still there. It's your job to reprogram your mind and shift, because what you're putting out there is going to shift and change everything on the outer world. When I decided I'm going to get out of debt, right? I said, okay, I live an abundant life. I live in overflow. I live in more than enough. When I would get a phone call, I would ignore it. I'm not saying ignore your responsibilities. I mean, you tell them what you got to tell them. Look, I don't have it in this moment. You will get it when you get it. And that's it. Don't get on the phone lying. Get on the phone and you do what you got to do and you say what you got to say. But in your private time, I live in abundance. And you feel that. You sit in that. And you assume that. And what would happen is people would start calling me and saying, hey, I just want to give you this. Bam, cover the debt. Or they would say, hey, we're going to forgive this. Or, hey, we charged you incorrectly. Or, hey, and I just started getting out of debt over time. But it came from me putting out a mindset. But if you're always saying things like, I never got a debt. It's just too much debt. It's just debt, debt, debt. Debt is a cuss word to me. I only say it when I'm on the lives. But when we're in a school, in my school community, we have a whole different speech. That's why we go over there, because a lot of times people are like, that doesn't make sense. You're going to have dead people come over here on TikTok and in live and speaking their limiting beliefs. That's why you have to be a part of a community where everybody is speaking the same thing. Everybody's talking the same thing, so that we're all in agreement, sending out the same energy. So today, before we leave, whatever your intention is, whatever you set for yourself, if let's say you're 200 pounds, you're Hispanic, and then you see a commercial, or you see somebody's TikTok, man, it's just so hard for Hispanics to lose weight. We never lose weight. We ignore that kind of stuff. If you're a black man, if you're a white this, it don't matter. If you don't have any education, if you don't have a degree, you can never go far in life. Whatever it is, just throwing out random stuff. I ignore anything that is not in alignment with what I'm manifesting. And I just remain grateful. And I just remain thankful that it's already done. And I assume that it's already done, and I keep making my plans. That's your message for today. We go further, we'll go deeper in the Skool community. The link is in the bio right there for the 31-day cards. And before we leave, is there anybody that wants me to read anything from any one of these cards or booklets before we go? I'll put them in here one more time. I did pin the topics. Boom. I can't tell you my website because TikTok, they get funny, so I just have to say the link. But you can DM me and I can tell you exactly where to go. But pick one of those if you want. If not, I will be moving on over to my Skool community where we talk one-on-one. You can tell me specifically what it is and I will outline and show you. You could just talk to me for 2 minutes and I can tell you exactly what's blocking you and what's keeping you from your manifestation. I only react to manifestations in my life that produce joy and peace. Anything else gets ignored. The reason why you have to do that is because you're wanting to create and align to a new reality. If you're always responding to the old reality, that's the one that's always going to stick and stay. When I was going through my divorce from my ex-husband, and he used to just taunt me on my phone, you this and that, all those different things, right? I used to react and I was talk back to him until I changed his name in my phone. I don't know what I changed it to, but it was like I'm beyond conflict or something. It was something to remind me when I see it to change that reality by not responding. So of course I started ignoring him. I didn't respond and I changed my energy towards him and it just stopped. That's how life works in every area. If you're sick and you have pain in your body, I'm not talking about ignore it like it doesn't hurt. You got to do what you're doing in the natural, but ignore when people say everybody in our family gets gout and everybody in our family at this age. You ignore that and you say something different. Matter of fact, because we're talking about healing, let's end. I don't think I read one, or did I read one from healing today? I don't think I did. But if we did, so what? Oh yeah, I did. But I also want to read this one. This is good. This will be day 22 if you were going according to the days. My body responds to my words. Therefore, I will always speak healing and nurturing words over myself, mentally, physically. Body, today you are, and then you say what you need to say. That's what these, if you don't know what to say, that's the point of getting these tools. So you know what to speak over yourself. You say organs, and then you speak to your organs because they're living. And you can speak to them. You can speak to your cells, speak to the members of your body. And then you say things like, I am grateful for this body. I am in perfect health, whatever you want to say. Therefore, my body responds in kindness. Okay? That's what it says. I'm grateful for the body that I'm in. Because we curse our bodies a lot. You go to the mirror like, oh, Lord, I'm just so fat. I'm just, oh, my body, oh, my lip. And then you wonder why the reality stays that way. You don't create anything new by speaking what you see and then speaking the same thing over and over. You want to see something new, you have to say something new. You want to experience something new, you have to change and become a new person. From this day forth, you have to walk as a person that walks in complete health. That means I only watch things, I only look at things, I only talk about things. We talked about that, refraining from negativity. But today, my body responds to my words. Therefore, if someone is out there saying, we always get sick in our family, this always, every girl, it runs in our family. Well, it stops with me. The only thing that runs in my family now is my body. I run. That's it. But I'm going to speak over my body and speak the things that I need, that I want to see in my new reality, and speak healing words and nurturing words over myself, mentally and physically. Peace of mind. Read a peace of mind. Okay. Today is the 20th. This goes with the other one that we were talking about, refraining from negativity in health. I am a master at ignoring and blocking out people, social media, the news, and anything that could disturb my peace, even those closest to me. I respond with kind words when others gossip because that habit is a peace taker. Why is this important? You're like, oh, this is kind of simple. It's really not, because there are some people that struggle with saying no to people that steal their peace. There are people that have to reprogram their mind, because in your mind, you got to be loving. If you're a Christian, you got to be, compassionate and listen to everybody's problem. You got to be there for your brethren. Or that's your mama, that's your auntie. And I am a master at blocking and ignoring out and blocking out people. I don't care who it is, if you're going to disturb my peace, even those closest to me, because that peace is also aligned to your health. All right, so that was a lot. We were just here for 30 minutes. I'm going to leave because I have my Skool community where you can go and join. You can come and be a part. It's more intimate. It's more personal. You want to put all your stuff out here on TikTok. But here, I just put out some new music. We're talking about healing. It's called Heal. It's a beautiful song about taking your healing in your own hands. You can get it on the Even platform. The links are in the bio, right? Also, my cards and my booklets as well, they are in the bio. Any topic that you need to cover, they are there, okay? I'll see you at the Skool community. It's the same name as this channel, Intuitive Intentions. And my music is I Am Dorian Marie Music. I've been typing from that one anyway. I've been commenting from my other channel, I Am Dorian Marie Music. That's where I'm at. All right? I will see you all the next time.